ngiyakwazi.
Ugogo wethu mfethu. Sibathanda wenja, sibathanda wenja. Okay.
Awona kwena yami.
Yeah. All right. Let me get comfortable. Let's do this.
Are we good? Should the mic be closer?
Huh?
Does it sound good? Does it sound fine?
I hear you. You
Clearly.
sound. In fact, it sounds amazing, though. There's no disturbance. Like a. Kind of sounds alright. Now you're nice and clear. Yeah, not so shy voiceover.
Voiceover himself works.
And you?
Barely. Voiceover
voice.
life doesn't like me. As much as I'd like it to like me.
How cleaning shy voiceover?
Oh, it's been a while.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm busy with like the MC work, so
You've been doing a lot of that.
yeah. It's been fun.
Did you do the did you do Basadi Awards?
Yeah. So we were like a roving team because
How many were you there, the MCs?
Oh no, I wasn't. So I was the MC for Nando's.
Okay.
Yes, and I was like the roving red the host for Nando's specifically. But then so like each brand had their own host, and Basadi also had their own host. Nati took over from Kanye now because Kanye was the host in the beginning.
Until the court cases.
And then I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I don't understand why Kanye's the host of these awards because it just doesn't make sense. So
that's your host though, actually. I've never seen her doing any MC work.
Okay.
Yeah, can you what's the host at the time?
I know she lives life in Dubai. No kudzai wake.
That's a Dubai.
Temperamental guy, like I don't know how she handles him, to be very honest.
Is that it?
Temperamental, like all over. Yeah, like what the
They're
hell?
the same.
Why funny? Look funny.
No, man, like I don't understand. But oh well. Kids
Each to their own.
Each to their own.
Each to their own. I'm telling you what. All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Is that tape, man?
We've been live for the past 5 minutes.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Make it happen with Kiss.
That's Ayanda, camera guy.
Hey, and
The guy, so
is this ghost guy?
yeah, it's kind of ghost guy.
But he has a name.
His name is Ayanda, ghost guy. So let me tell you about Ayanda. Ayanda's a friend of mine for, let's put 20 years into it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
He sees me starting this thing because I'm anyone, as you can see. I'm a one-man show. He sees me starting this thing and is like, okay, boy, listen. I'm coming in, I'm a camera, and this is a spy.
It's a spine.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a holo boy. High five, Ndwana.
Pushing patient.
Thank you. Via kaya. You know, he's like, I don't care. We're gonna do it. So
Nice.
I admire this gentle brother. He's a good ninja of mine. He came through for me. I want him to put a canon.
But it's nice to have, it's really important to have people in your corner like Ayanda.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, like people that see where you're going and they see.
And in the beginning.
And in the beginning as well. So,
It's like,
yeah.
While we start trying to figure out how to record, how to get the mics to stand.
On Audacity.
Yeah.
At least it's free.
It's free. All you have to do is just edit.
Just download it. Install it.
Then I edit that out.
Add some cartoon spice. Sorry, we're not
I use Audacity. But it's there on the internet.
It is there, it is free. So why not? Alright, hey, I must introduce you.
Okay.
Welcome to it. This is Make It Happen with Kiss. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Today, who I have is an amazing lady. I met her about 7-8 years ago through our work that we do.
Has it been that long?
It's kind of been that long.
Oh, wow. Wow.
At the time, I think you were doing, is it the lifestyle?
No, I was doing
What was it?
Utopia.
Utopia.
Yes.
Utopia.
Yeah.
At Trans Africa Radio.
Yeah.
She's an MC, she's a DJ, she's a on-air presenter, she's corporate, she's a chef,
Yeah.
dabbles into making delicious food,
Yeah.
playing around with flavors,
Yeah.
both in music, both in food. Welcome, man. Thank you for putting in.
Thank you so much for the invite. I truly appreciate it. Like it's nice to know that people see what it is that you're doing, you know, and also coming through from people that have seen you hustle, be it in the same place or not in the same place, but have seen where it is that you, where you've come from.
Trust me, you know when you talk about that hustle, that hustle I know very well because so for a minute we worked at the same radio station for a few years.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that was really fun times.
Yes.
Despite the background nonsense, you know, because there's always going to be nonsense somehow, somewhere. But like, I think generally it was just a fun time. But I think my favorite part about being at Trans Africa Radio was just being able to immerse myself in the continent that is Africa, you know.
You did amazingly well.
Thank you.
You were nominated at the Liberty Awards.
I was.
2019, 2018.
2018? It was 2018 because 2019 was my last year.
Yes.
And I didn't submit anything. So it was 2018. I have to thank Ndogozo Bucci for that. For
Shout out to Ndogozo.
You know, putting us in there saying, no, we must go in there and yeah.
Ndogozo actually made life at Trans Africa very nice, in fact, as a producer, as assistants all around. I remember when I started there, I had just come from a Kasi FM, so getting into online radio. Hey, yabona manje lena uyijwayelanga nayo lento lena naseKasi was something different. So online and FM is completely different.
It is different, but in the same time, if radio is your craft, it's radio.
It's radio
at the end of the day.
It's the delivery of it.
It's just the delivery of it, you know. Also, we were online and satellite, so we had people from wherever listening to us, you know, so all across the continent. Specifically in Southern Africa, because we know how big of a reach we had in Southern Africa, from Bots to Zim to Swatini.
We covered almost everything in Southern Africa.
Literally, so like DSTV helped.
A lot.
OVHD helped.
A lot. Channel 872.
Channel 872.
I'm trying to link. Can you still link? Well, she can. I'm sure you can. Because she does. You are now on Power FM.
I was.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So I left Power because I'm back at school and I just needed to.
Oh, you mentioned this to me a week ago when you said that you were busy with something else on the side.
Yeah, so I've gone back to school.
Okay.
I want to get in my head it says my master's, but right now my degree in corporate communication.
Where are you? You are saying master's right at the head. Where? Are we still certificate?
I'm still in the beginning. Semester 2. So semester 2
year
of year 1. I just got back my results for semester 1 exams. I just need to rewrite one exam.
What did you study?
Corporate communications.
Okay.
Yeah, so I realized that communicating is something that I do well, in the sense that people listen to me.
They do. The whole of Africa listens to you.
Like, it may sound obnoxious in a way, but I've had people come to me and say that, you know, the things that you said have actually really been helpful, in the sense that I'm not like speaking to you on a human level, and I believe I speak to you on a spirit level, on a soulful level, and that's what it is for me, because I'm not trying to be frivolous.
What makes you believe that, though? What makes you believe that you speak at a spiritual, high divine level?
High divine level. I can feel it, you know, like it also sounds very like shallow, in the sense that I can't give reasoning behind it, but
you touch the soul when you speak.
I feel like I touch the soul, but they also tell me
that they've been touched.
They've been touched. Like, the words that I've said to them have been really not inspiring, but like healing in a way and motivating, and they're just like, okay, calming as well. So it's something for me where in terms of communication, I want to know how I can be more of a creative communicator.
You're trying to push this into the corporate space.
Yeah, so be more of a creative communicator in a way that's where the message isn't lost through just all of the corporate stuff or even through all of the creative stuff. Also find a way to be able to touch someone in a way that they didn't realize that they needed to be touched, like in a healing perspective.
Yes.
Because we kind of do forget that at the end of the day we are spiritual beings in a human experience. So
that's the crux of the whole thing.
It's the crux of the whole thing. We
Yeah.
have human experiences, but at the end of the day we are spiritual beings. So
Yeah.
and I think the moment I realized that I'm more than just my physical form, I was able to get more into myself and be
It's
more
interesting,
comfortable with myself.
that you say that, because we had a chat with Nomathemba Maleng, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nomathemba is a reputational and communications strategist,
Mm-hmm.
right? She runs a company called Zindela Communications.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of the company, but she's done amazing work within the communication space. And with you saying that, she also dabbled into spirituality and how that is helping her within the work that she's trying to do. Would you say that is the same for you as well? Would you say that you speaking in the spiritual language that you are would then help you to be able to structure the communications within corporate? And how so?
I don't know how so, but the answer's
It was all
definitely
a
yes. Listen, I'm in the corporate sense, I'm very much led by spirit, but in my spirit, I'm when it comes out, it's quite creative in the way that it needs to be put out. So taking it back to school, me going back to school specifically is to find out how I can be more strategic in my communication, because I can write this spiritual. Yeah.
There it
This
is.
is how it must be, this is how it must work out, this is the outcome. So now you need to find ways in how you maneuver all of this,
Yes.
But when it comes to spirit and working, and not just in the personal sense, is that you always know like what will, in a way you know what will work and what won't work. So my boss is quite strategic in the sense that she wants things like, must be like this.
Is it strategic
like
or pedantic about things?
both. Like I love me some Kirsty Niehaus, like she's taught me so much in the year and a half that I've been at Nando's.
Yeah.
And I'm learning quite a number of strategic ways as to how I can be more, like I have to be more strategic in the way that we do communicate, right? But while you being strategic, it doesn't mean that you have to lose the creativity aspect in the way that you need to communicate. So specifically me going back to schools just to learn how to be more strategic in the communication, how I can put it down on paper, how I can look out towards the people so that what it is that we're trying to say doesn't get lost.
Yes.
So spirit will always lead the way in terms of, okay,
It's a guide.
it's a guide. Yeah, it's really it's a guide that, okay, not your bed. It's more like so yeah, like in that sense, but you also know what feels right and what feels wrong. Yeah. And you also know when you'll be able to like speak up and be like, okay, that's not working the way. And there are times that you just need to hold back and allow people to see that what it is that they've planned didn't work out the way that they thought it would be planned, that they thought it would work out. And you kind of have to let them fail, even though you're part of the team,
So let them fail so I can show you how to succeed.
Like, in a way, like, okay, now we've learned that this didn't exactly work out the way it needed to work out. Let's go back on course.
Yes.
This is what we suggested. This is what is suggested in the beginning. So let's go with this angle. So there have been a couple of instances where things haven't gone the way that they thought they would have gone. and then they're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Strategic and Communications Department.
Yeah,
Please come
so-
and help here.
So yeah,
messed up.
yeah. Also because I do have that radio background, it's a matter of like, okay, let's use that radio background as well to.
Your radio background stretches back
Yo.
2010, more,
2010.
11, somewhere there.
I don't even remember,
Can't
but
remember.
I think it's definitely more than.
A
I think
decade.
it's my 12. Yeah, it's more than a decade.
What drove you into that? What led you to? So as Pumaga Matric, we played the squad of standard 10. You decided.
I wasn't allowed to study what I wanted to study. If we're being
What was
honest,
that?
I wanted to get into radio production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your parents were like,
Like, how's that going to get you money?
yeah, it didn't make sense to them.
It didn't make sense to them.
Along with all, in fact, 90% of the black parents.
But I
they did
also
not
understand.
this
I also
concept.
understand why, in the sense that my parents are village children. My dad's from Zim, so he's the firstborn of 11.
Yeah.
And I understand that him wanting me to go in a more business management route makes a lot of sense because there's money there,
Yeah.
right? And then you get into
Kind of
a
guaranteed
job. There's
paycheck.
Yeah, there's a guaranteed paycheck, and this is what I want for you. I also, he had a plumbing company and he wanted me to get into the management side of things like that. So just like, yo, construction. No, thank you. Like, I'm more, like, as I was saying, I'm more of a creative being. So allow me, for me, it was just a matter of like, can I just do what it is that I want to do?
Yes.
Because I know I'm going to be miserable if you make me do what it is that you want me to do.
So you didn't go for radio production, you
I studied hospitality management and catering.
hence the cooking.
Hence the cooking, but also it was a way to allow me to be creative, but also get the management side of things.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy watching cooking shows because that was my reasoning behind it. That I love cooking shows, love watching Gordon Ramsay, the Top Chef, the Master Chef, and all of that. So let's
Triple D.
involve that.
What is it?
Oh, Diners, Drive-ins, and
Diners,
Dives.
Drive-ins, Dives.
With Guy Fieri.
Guy Fieri, yes.
I need to do
I love that
an
show.
African version of that, actually. Don't take my idea now.
And we've got cameras, we've got a whole set.
You see?
Tell us where to go film.
Yeah,
So we can happen.
I'd love to do an African version of that, actually.
Let's do it.
I think so.
We've got the equipment. Before you start hiring
People.
expensive people, we'll jump in. We'll do it now.
Yeah,
So you do that. You study your hospitality and then you jump into it.
yeah,
what
I
happened?
think I spent about, I spent 6 months at home because I was tired.
From the study.
Because you know how
Plus us
we
black people, you can't just do camp here for what? I'm a me.
we go straight from school, 12 years of school, then you go into varsity, which is another like 3-4 years, and then you must work.
Yes.
Yo, keep kusaning Linda, like, because I was tired. I was tired. So I won't lie, 6 months wasn't the plan to stay unemployed. I think I was banking on like a month or two because I just also needed to
It
just
stretched to 6 months.
and it just stretched to 6 months. 6 months unplanned. Like, it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't my intention to for 6 months.
But what are you doing in just 6 months? Just
I'm
waking
chilling,
up,
dog.
chilling,
I'm chilling.
catching up on days of our lives.
Catching up on
Zombie
days,
bus.
on generations when it was generations.
Yeah.
Like, I'm catching up on those things. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm spring cleaning the house. Like, yeah, there's a point where I'm like, okay, now I'm just being taken advantage of. You know?
Crazy. And everybody's like, okay, Pirinyama, when's the logo?
Yes. How pay portal? You've been here the whole day. I'm just like, yo, dog, we've been eating meat. So the break and again, like,
Yes.
you know, like, so I've been chilling. I was just chilling at home. But also I was contemplating like, actually I had a quarter life crisis. You know how people have midlife crisis. I had a quarter life
It happens
crisis.
in your 20s,
Yeah.
just after school.
It actually happened at 23.
Okay.
At 23. It happened at 23. This was when I was still at my first radio station. And I was like, what's going on with my life?
So this is after the 6 months.
This is after the 6 months. I get into catering work.
Yeah.
So catering work is coming into my life. That's what's paying. Like that's what's
At
keeping
time.
me. Yeah. And
Yeah.
getting into catering work, a little bit of waitering work as well. So tapping into the hospitality degree and diploma, getting money from there. Didn't study it for nothing. And then I think it was June or July. I was like, Archer, you've been wanting to do this radio thing.
Yeah.
You'd fall asleep listening to Trevor Noah when he was still on YFM, back in the day.
Which didn't last for long. It was 3 months, 2 months also.
I don't even
It
remember.
was a very short stint of a radio career.
You'd make sure that on Saturdays you're listening to Bridget Masinga. Who's a going on?
I'm crying.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Somebody trying to make things happen. Trying to make it happen, man.
Listening to Bridget Masinga, on the weekends.
Yes.
It was like,
She was amazing. Is she still on radio?
She is. She's at SAFM.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
with Shayla.
Shayla's also at SAFM.
She's at SA, right?
Yeah, Shayla is at SAFM and I think Channel Africa as well.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Shout out to Shayla. We used to work with her at Trans Africa. She's done amazing. She's an amazing girl. Shout out to her as well, man.
So I was saying that my favorite radio stations back then, but obviously I was youth, was YFM and 5FM. It was always a coin toss as to which station am I listening to today?
If they're playing a bad song, you switch to the other one.
Yeah, but the thing is, at that time, those two radio stations were so neck and neck as to how it is that they were catering to the youth, that there was no bad song.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't like the genre per se, but you'd stay because
Heat after heat.
it's YFM, or you'd stay because it's 5FM.
So loyal to the
brand, yes. Okay. Obviously, you start listening to the radio stations and you become loyal to certain individuals. And then you'd be like, okay, it's the breakfast show. I'm only going to listen to this person. Yes. Wherever it is that they go, I'm going to follow them.
I know I had people like that. #Habashu. I had my crew. 11 to 2 p.m. 11 to 2 a.m. rather. 11 to 2 a.m. Yeah, I had my crew. I had my people that I know if these guys didn't WhatsApp, it was a bad show.
It was that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a group of guys all the time when I'm on the mic, they're listening. If I'm on air, I know which I let 20, 30, they're listening.
It's cool.
Those are my people.
Yeah.
And then it grew to like, I think, 12,000.
Nice.
Which was nice.
Nice. You see, it starts like that. It starts with 1%, 10.
Hey, the first show. How was your first show on radio?
Nonsense.
Okay, but wait, before we get there, what led you to now getting away from, because what the idea here is giving somebody the pathway, right? So we had Lena Manje in the first radio station. Did you have a cousin, an uncle? Did you know somebody?
No one.
Did you put envelope under?
Yes, I literally
What
went
happened?
on
How?
my phone and said radio stations around my area that I lived in.
Google.
I googled and they gave them to me. I was like, okay, tell me
The confidence. Why do you think they're going to listen to you? Why do you think they're going to give you a chance when you have no experience?
I just did it. Like, I honestly just did it, and I pestered them as well. I'm just like, have you had the opportunity to go through my stuff? Like, listen, I know I have no experience whatsoever. However, this is what I want.
Your stuff is the demo that you are sending.
I didn't even send a demo. I just sent my CV. Very nice. I was like, here's my CV.
And how are they then supposed to?
What did my CV have?
What's on the CV?
What is
I
on
did
the
matric.
CV?
I went and studied hospitality.
Yes.
And catering. Been at home for 6 months.
I didn't even say that. I just had the basics of what my life looked like, as to what it is that I had accomplished besides being alive.
You know? So you're getting in there to hopefully to be a traffic manager. You go get
it's
the
funny
tea
you
yourself.
say that, because as I was pestering him, because I pasted and she's like, okay, come. I was like, I'll even be a volunteer. Understand that if you're out here being a volunteer, you don't get paid your services. You're just out here learning the ropes.
You're here for free.
You're here for free.
But you're delivering 100%.
But you're delivering what it is that you're delivering. And yet, cool. So I'm there for a month learning production, behind the scenes, how to edit, how to chop and paste and all of that. And then a month later, they said to me, we're going to put you on air with the breakfast show, another breakfast show host, the lunchtime show host, because it's two girls. Yeah. And they needed to differentiate them because apparently listeners were getting confused.
Oh, who am I listening to now?
Who am I listening to? Am I listening to Roxy or am I listening to Saskia?
Yes.
So Roxy did the brunch time show,
yeah, and
then Saskia did the lunchtime show. So I joined Saskia.
Okay.
A month after being there. And then, that first show, I don't even remember it. All I knew is that I was excited to be behind the mic.
I'm just here.
I really wanted to do for all this time. You know?
How was the links overlapped? Perfect.
Most likely. A lot of laughing. So that much I remember.
Laughing.
Was a lot of laughing.
Because utugile.
Yeah, I get to we show signs of nervousness in different ways. So yes. Laughing is mine. Yeah.
And then that happens for how long? You do that for how long?
I was literally Saskia for like the rest of that year, because I joined Mix in July, and then for the rest of that year I was with Saskia learning the ropes and all of that.
Yes.
Thankfully, they trusted me enough to just carry on with the show, even when she was away. So they wouldn't bring anyone else in to be the main
So
producer.
the co would be the host.
Yes, the co would be the host. Also, like, what is it, BEE, Leone?
What about it?
Let's have an African child. Weekday, so
to balance out,
things out, show as if like we're giving opportunity. And honestly, like, I'm sounding shady, however they did give me the opportunity, and if it wasn't for Mix, I wouldn't be where it is that I am now in terms of radio.
Because you've done amazingly well. I mean,
thank you.
Just not so long ago, before Power. So what I remember is Trans. I worked with you at Trans. I learned from you as well, I must say, because when I got into Trans, especially you and Tabang, right, Timesh in the morning, and that's the time I would be at the station.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. And that's when I would be stealing ideas, listening to the links. I'm gonna drop a link like that. Plus, she's a nominee. Okay. So I learned that, but I knew you from Trans, and then there was Vodacom.
Yes, Vodacom Radio. When I was at Vodacom, I joined Power as a stand-in.
Yes.
And then I left Vodacom, and then I went to Nando's.
Yes.
So at Nando's, I am the station manager of the radio station called Heatwave Radio.
Shout out.
So I basically deal with obviously on-air content. Deal with all of the on-air content. Oh, there's my alarm.
Is it that I'm to come to the show, Marakia?
It's actually an alarm to say thank you, like it's just a short prayer.
Okay. No, that's a very good alarm. It's 12 midday now.
Yeah.
So, hey, shout out.
12 hours.
Yeah, okay.
Been in the, what's the date today? The 18th.
Today is
the 19th of August.
19th of August, yeah.
So we've had 12 hours of the 19th of August.
Yes. Thank you. It is the day that the Lord has made. Yeah. I am rejoicing, doing what I love behind the mic.
We are grateful.
So, yes, things are happening.
So at Heatwave Radio, which is the internal station for Nando's, I handle all of the on-air content, approve, disapprove, all of that, and any.
Man, I was all about someone.
Kazama.
You're about to be giving him car right now.
I actually do have my own radio station. As much as you say giving him car, like I do have plans to have my own radio station.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Tell me about that.
So I want to go back home, and when I say back home, I mean go northwest because my mom's from the northwest.
Yes.
And I want to open a youth station because there isn't anything catered for the youth in the Northwest.
I'm youth. When I work.
According to the government or according to self?
According to self, I'm youth. Breakfast show, please.
So I think for me it's really important to have those aspects because there's only one commercial radio station in the Northwest province, and I used to work at it. That was my time after mix. It's adult contemporary and all of that, but there isn't anything that specifically caters to the youth on a Northwest level. Yes, each and every single like city, town has its own radio station.
Don't plug it up. Sorry, in the bag, Erid.
Judge.
Yes. Sorry, yeah. The flat is it? So yes, you wanting to do this because it's fun. In Northwest, there's only one community, and is that your why?
There's only
or is that
one
the what?
commercial radio
Commercial,
station in the Northwest, but there's not a commercial station that caters to the youth in the Northwest. Like how in Gauteng we have YFM,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
they don't have a YFM. They have their community stations, which may go ahead and cater to the youth, but you know how community stations are. They literally cater to the whole entire community.
Yeah.
So be it youth, elders, whatever the situation is.
There's no specificity and there's no
Yes,
niche.
there's no niche. So I want that niche.
You know what's funny about that? I used to do community, né? And you are right. There's no niche which is we cater for this person or not. A lot of times, and then with requests, I found it funny about requests because now you've just played. Let's say.
You go from Luther Vandross to Lil Durk. That's what happened.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to play it.
And you have to play it. You know, like honestly.
Right next to
Then it's that. Like then it's that. I won't lie. Like talking about music compilation as well. Listening to radio lately is also kind of hurts my ears in terms of the way they compile their music. But then again, I think it also comes from the sense that this DJing thing, I get what to sequence sharp.
Yeah.
You can't go from this to that. You have to sequence the way.
You are listening from a producer's ear.
Yeah. So like Moto.
You're a producer as well. Forgot to say it. She's a producer as well.
Content producer. Yeah.
You produce everything.
Haven't done sound production yet, but
Just content.
I like content. I like feeding people what is good, you know, what is necessary. So for me, whenever it is that I do a show, besides being informed, I want you to go ahead and feel as if like leave the show as if you felt something, like I've imparted something on you, you know.
Yeah.
So like be it a situation where you're feeling a little down that day, you're just talking about something completely random, but in that randomness you find something that just like makes you feel good, you know?
I feel like you're touching back in the first points that we did.
Yeah.
With the spiritual
Yeah.
realm
I won't
conversation.
lie, so there was a time at Trance when I was doing, I think it was like my final month at Trance. I think you snoozed, my dog. Did you snooze?
No.
Okay.
So we don't switch off phones here. You know, I've heard people asking me, it's so dark. Why? There's always phones ringing in your show. You know, the name of the show is called Make It Happen with Kiss. Things happen at any time. An opportunity can come right now. I'm not gonna be here to stop that that opportunity from coming through. So if your phone rings and you have to answer it, go for it because you are making it happen, and that could be the call that makes it happen for you.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you for that.
On this show, on this podcast, we don't switch off our phones. Siyawaphendula. Mhlambe somebody's listening to the deal happen.
Hello. It's Mama.
Ah, yeah, boy.
You don't know how many times that has happened to me. Planning. It was like, yo,
I'm
okay.
I'm on stage. All right, so let's go back to. You were telling me how you wanted to start this commercial radio station, and I wanted to know your why because you could, and you did mention, Uti, there's only one commercial radio station, and there's no youth radio station that side. But that is not your why. That is the why for
the province.
The province, right? But Kea, yours internally, in between yourself.
If I'm being very honest with you, even though the commercial station, the youth station will be in the Northwest, it's more about a station that interlinks Africa together. Because I'm such a big advocate of all things African. As I said, my dad's from Zim, and I also have roots in Bots. His mom is from Botswana. So I have the opportunity to travel amongst those 3 continents at any given time because it's where my immediate roots are.
It's all home.
It's all home to me. So I'm also I also want it to be a situation where Africa is local and local is Africa. So we don't have to look out of the continent to draw inspiration.
Do you share the same sentiments as Malem in his speeches about Africa and it becoming one state?
But why can't we be one state in a way?
I see nothing wrong in that.
Yeah.
It's just, it would take a lot for us to get into that.
It will take a lot of decolonization for starters.
Exactly.
Like there's still a lot of colonization within us South Africans in the sense that we very untrusting of each other as African people. Like we know how it is that we treat our own in terms of we still see Venda people and Tsonga people as like second-class citizens because that was what was taught to us in apartheid and we haven't had the opportunity to go ahead and heal from these wounds. We've basically just been told that you have to get over it.
This is true.
And we haven't been allowed the opportunity we haven't been allowed the opportunity to actually go through the therapy sessions that allow us to.
And TRC was not it.
It wasn't it because you're giving people cash for healing.
Yeah.
So like let's not give people cash, let's actually give people the opportunity to heal. You know, and we haven't been allowed the opportunity to go through that. You know, like I was watching a TikTok video yesterday of a matric dance proposal, and it was this young white guy proposing like, could you be my date to matric dance to a young black girl. I'm just like, I love this. Like my 2K will already be like the end of racism, but that's not the case. Like there's still a lot of healing that we need to do as a nation. There's still a lot of healing that we need to do
as a people in the African diaspora as a whole.
Yes, because there's just so much, like there was so much violence inflicted on us, and you can't expect people to get over that violence just like that.
Totally.
Like you can't. Like it's horrible, the violence that we've been through, and you can still see it now through our generations that this violence still hasn't left our DNA because it's imprinted in who we are.
Yeah.
You know, as to who we are. Like we have violence.
You see it in how we act when certain things happen.
Mm-hmm. Like we have violence written in our DNA, and we've been lied to so much about who it is that we are as a people that women are a commodity. You know.
They are.
We're not a commodity.
No.
Like, truth be told, and this is going to sound very obnoxious and arrogant and cocky and all of this, but in essence, for the mere fact that you're on this earth because of a woman, she's higher than you in a being, and like in the sense of
Amara, you came from my rape. If it wasn't for that, there would not be a woman.
Christianity.
Hold on.
No, I hear you, but what I'm saying
remember, yes, I agree with you. Woman divide.
You can't do what it is
Woman
that we
divide.
do.
But of course.
And I know as
I
I
can't
can't do what it is that you do, but the thing is, I've been forced so much to be in my masculine energy that when I'm in my feminine energy, it's a problem.
Elaborate.
I'm actually being forced to be a leader. Yes, I can lead.
Amara, you want to lead the radio station. Are they forcing you? Do you feel like it should be a dude? What are you saying?
No, on a business sense, yes. Like I am that boss.
So why then do we choose?
Because I should be able to still lead even though I don't work, but when I come home I should be able to just be soft and fragile in front of you.
Which is what it should be.
But it's not like that.
Where?
But it's not like that.
Where?
At home.
different homes, I guess.
Like different homes, even on the street. Gabe, like it's not great.
Hold up.
Like, and you know it's not.
I believe.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was brought up by a hustler.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a hustler. My mom did everything. If you thought, my mom would build a house from scratch.
Same here.
Yeah. At the same time, she was very soft.
But soft how?
Mama, Tambile, she's warm, she's loving, she's all of that. She's everything that you need from a mom. My essentially.
But she's nurturing. That doesn't mean that she's soft.
Well, nurturing, soft
Yes.
in that sense.
Okay.
Let's minus Sosadekama, replace it with this one. And then why kuba ne distinction yokuthi mangabe sewusebenza endlini, then it's a different story.
What I'm saying is that, especially as a black woman, was that I'm at the bottom of the food chain. Ne?
Yeah.
I've been...
Okay, let me not say yeah, okay. I'm not agreeing to this.
Like, I have to work 10 times as hard to get where you at as a black man, right? And then I have to work 20 times as hard to get where the white woman is. And then no one is ever going to reach white men. Nonsense. Because we know the white men. So, but then at the same time, I have all of these ticks. I have all of these things setting me back. You as a black man, I'm not saying specifically you as a black man, but I've seen it countless times where black men would rather protect others instead of protect their own. Where it is that they've come from.
Protect others as in...
Like you would...
Take it next door than my home.
You would fawn over women of other races, but then kick your own black woman.
Oh, whatever.
And then at the same time...
Not my black woman.
This
How
black
not
woman,
my black woman?
but at the same time, this black woman is the reason why you're on this earth.
I hear that. I respect what you're saying, but...
So with that, with all of this, all of the hustling I have to do to get me to where it is that you are, get you to someone protect me, I've kind of lost who I am. I've lost my feminine energy in the sense that now I'm in man mode because I'm fighting everything just to get that little bit. Because honestly, in nature, right, women do nothing. No, like honestly, listen, the most prettiest, the biggest, the most colorful animals, genders of the two in the animal kingdom are men. Because you need to impress her so that you can mate. You get what I'm saying? Now I must impress you.
We did not create this.
No, but things have just like gone completely wrong in the sense that we kind of forgotten who it is that we are. And I say this because we are also animals. Humans like to say that, no, we're not animals, but we actually are. We're just a different kind of species of animals. Right?
So are you saying this would then be the crux of your youth radio station in you being able to then speak to these three countries at once with that in mind?
Yes.
Is that the direction you take?
Like, I want us to get back to who it is that we are as Africans.
So give me a 5-second elevator pitch for the radio. What is it going to be?
It's a station that's all about Africa, guys, in the sense that this is where humanity started, and at the end of the day, this is where humanity will end. And we really need to get back in touch of we need to get back in touch with ourselves.
Yeah, who we are
As individuals. And once we can get back in touch with who we are as Africans, then we can get in touch and back, because like I'm a woman in my feminine energy, and I'm a man in my masculine energy.
That's Kea's why.
That's just part of my whys. But also, again, as I was saying to you, I want Africa to be local and local to be Africa. So why are we going to China when I can go to a Kenya?
Yes.
Or I can go to a Burkina Faso?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So let me start here at home, and home is Africa.
Yes.
And if I can't find it in Africa, then I can look elsewhere. instead of going out and then coming back in.
I feel you. I hear you loud and clear. And what you're doing right now is you are getting all of this experience in the leadership that you're doing, in your past work that you've done.
Yeah.
Getting all of this experience so that when you start, you say you're starting when? When do you want to start with your radio station?
With my new radio station,
Is it still pipeline?
give me,
Thought?
I think give me, because I'm going to be on this earth for a very long time.
But then, isn't it you have to set smart goals?
Yeah, you just made set smart
Something
goals,
that,
but also
that
like,
is specific and measurable,
yeah,
and it has to be time-based.
also hence why I'm at school.
That's for communications and strategy.
Yeah, so hence why I'm at school as well, because I do have quite a bit of radio background behind me.
Yeah, you
as
do.
well. So let's have that radio background combined with the education
Combined
of
with the
communication,
leadership that you're doing
combined
right now.
with the leadership as well. So we're also going to take leadership classes. So we're not just bosses, we are leaders in this world, right? And get those to happen. Listen, all I know is that before 50, this radio station will be up and running.
Fully operational.
Before I'm 50.
Okay.
Because I know I'm going to be. So for a while, I've been through too much to die at 45.
We're still enjoying. We're still enjoying some things here, man.
Yeah. So.
There's a time when you prayed for something and it got answered.
Peace.
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 Why were you
That's
praying
my
for it?
biggest thing.
What had happened around for you to want that peace? What was the noise in your head? And when you realized it and said, "Yeah, now I'm at I've got my zen out right now."
I was very angry.
At what? At who?
That's my nephew, guys. He's watching cooking.
And we're gonna start to make it happen, Crash.
There was just a lot of personal things that were going on, and there was a lot of tension between the parents as well. So there was anger towards them in the sense that this is where you're at right now. I don't know what it is that you're doing, but you're also always out here. Come with Jolas, we want that. But at the same time, the picture that you're showing me isn't conducive. Like, I would never want to raise my kids in the picture that I was seeing at that moment in time.
Okay.
So there was always that
home.
conflict, yeah. So it was there was that conflict.
Different dynamics.
Different dynamics. Honestly, I don't know if they're going to see this or not, but I still believe in
We'll
this
block you
image.
before we post it.
and the thing is, I know quite a number of people are going to agree with me in the sense that I would have been better off if my parents were separated.
You would have been better off.
Yeah.
What were you seeing? Well,
There was just a lot of tension. There was a lot of
when is this? School times? High school?
there's been
After?
periods of
Episodes?
Yeah, there've been strong episodes of just the same it.
So you started seeing it in season 1?
Yeah, I
And
started
what was
seeing it
happening
in
in
season 1 was rough. Well, I could say it was rough because I knew and the other party didn't know. And it was a situation you would say, do I tell or don't I tell? But also this is my person and this is also my person. So there was just a lot of conflict.
Stuck between
It's
it.
stuck between the two.
Yeah. Rock and a hard place.
Yeah, rock in a hard place. Then this person found out and why didn't you tell me? And I'm just
Wasn't my place?
what do I say?
Kalap, yeah.
Get to my guy, you also being unfair. I understand why you're angry, but you're also being unfair, expecting me to go ahead and rat out this person,
Okay, so better off if both of them were.
Because I know that they would have been happier away from each other.
And what they decided to stay still together?
Yeah.
Why do you think they decided
Because
to stay?
they always say it's for the kids. I'm just yo. No. Honestly, if you ever find yourself in a predicament where you just with this person because of the children, never do that. Ever, ever, ever do that.
Will that then factor into you getting married or not?
It's a yes or no situation because I'm very determined in finding someone that I like, not just love.
Yeah, hey. Hey.
Because I can love, I will love you, you know.
But
like there'll be times, like with this little irritation, next thing I don't like you, and like is, I think if you find someone that truly likes you, you are just like.
Yeah. Would you say that you did not see that at home? You didn't see them liking each other?
Yeah, there's a bit of dislike towards each other. But at the same time, there's a lot of tension in me, you know. Listen, so my parents, in terms of my parents are both the pillars of their individual families, you know, so there was a lot of pressure on them to provide breadwinner here as well. So when my parents came together, they formed a mixed family because I have 3 older siblings. So they came together, had the mixed family, but like most of the African child, your kids are raised by your parents, you know? So when they got together, my dad was just like, I really want a child, you know, like I really want to expand my family. And I know that you're a mom of 2, so clearly you can do it.
That's fun of it.
Yes, fun of this thing. So please can we go ahead and have a child together? My mom was hell bent on not having kids because she already had a boy, she already had a girl. She's just like, I have my pigeon babies, you know, you grand, I have my boy, I have my girl, like I'm not trying to be out your food again by another man and jello to some shata, next thing young Shia, you know, so my mom wasn't all about that.
Yes.
But there was a night where my dad caught her taking the pill. And then he's just like, you should have told me if you just didn't want to have kids, it's fine, we'll go and adopt. And from that day, it didn't happen. Then they both individually had dreams that they were given a child, hence my name, Kea. As much besides being named after my grandmother, but that was also, it's like, and my dad had, the person that was giving him me was his youngest sister of 11th who died when she was like about 3 years old. So clearly it was meant to happen, you know.
Spiritual child.
Yeah. So they had me, then they had my little brother who was literally born like a year after me. Unfortunately he passed. But I felt for a long time that I was the reason, I was the glue of the relationship. And then while I was growing up and just finding my own voice, finding my own stars, it was just like, okay, now this person is not exactly for us, but not saying not them being together, but for us in terms of, okay, now it's my life. Like you can't make me the center of everything. You know, this is your relationship at the end of the day. And things started like kind of, you know, melting over, and it's like they kind of forgot each other in the midst of being.
Was it work? Was it just life in G?
Life. Look,
they grew apart.
Yeah, there was a lot of growing apart amongst the 2 of them. But I think besides wanting to have a family, they didn't actually really find a core reason as to why it is that they were together. You get what I'm saying?
So that created a noise in your head.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise. There was a lot of anger.
Because
yeah, and it's like I don't know what it is that you want me to do. There was a lot of anger towards dad. There was a lot of anger towards mom. And I was mad, yo. Like I was angry.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool and yeah, like I'm understanding things like, and I was just mad. And then you see. And then Obonomondo just constantly doing wrong towards another person, but at the same time, this person is just constantly taking, and you're just like, like just stop. Like the both of you stop, you know? So hence I say to you, Hore, honestly speaking, if you're together because of the sake of the child, don't do that. Because you creating more of a false impression as to what a relationship should be. Because what you teaching, like what it is that you may be teaching them as a mother is that you must just stay, no matter what the situation is, you know? No matter how bad it gets, no matter how much they drag you through the mind.
How did that factor your relationships in your life?
I would stay because I was holding on to like fake hope.
There's a better tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll do better tomorrow.
Yeah. Because that's what I saw, right? But at the same time, my dad spoilt me. Like, I'm a princess because of him. But at the same time, I'm just like, no, but my dad taught me better.
So are you staying because this guy wearing a spoiler? I can see treatment but at the same time, I'm not because I'm
no. So during that time, I was angry. I was dating all of the sides of my dad that I didn't like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because as a woman, you date different versions of your dad, and I think that's how it is with men.
It is like that. You, in most cases, uzojola or uzotanda umuntu ombonile.
Yeah.
You love what you know.
Yeah. So for me now, during that time, every aspect that I didn't like about my dad is the one that was coming into my life.
Yeah.
And it's very true when they say when you put it out, it's going to come back. In the sense of to be very aware as to what it is that you put out to the universe. Because that's what I was fixating on. I'm so. But in the meantime, I wasn't saying, I want this type of partner. You know. So I was getting everything that I didn't like about the old man. And I was just mad, yo. I was just like, but my dad didn't treat me like this. Not knowing that I'm out here getting everything back that I don't like about my dad and not appreciating the good that I love about my dad. Like my dad is the most important man in my life.
Yeah.
You know? He's the first man that I fell in love with, but at the same time, he was the first man that broke my heart.
Ish, baby girls, I got 2 daughters. Ish. No,
it's really
girls, I hope I never have to break your hearts, my babies.
No, I think it's really important that as parents, be it that you're together or not together, that you actually have a decent relationship with the mother of your child or the father of your child. Because they will take notes from you. And you are the example of what it is that they may go ahead and live, because the cycle repeats itself. Unless a person is willing to break that cycle.
So now, how do you find this peace? How then, with all of this noise that you grew up with, and it's affecting your relationships, and I imagine it also will affect how you make your decisions in your career, with friends, just decision making as a whole will be affected. When then do you say, hey man, I'm not now going through that? Do you have to go through a period of introspection? Or you just woke up one morning like, hey man, Dorama one gave me peace?
So for me to get peace, I had to realize that the people in my life are human beings just like me, having we are spiritual beings in the human experience. And we navigating this world with the tools that we've been given and we are being given in this everyday life process. But at the same time,
we are dealt.
Yeah, we playing with the cards that we are dealt. So also that they owe me nothing. One thing, my parents owe me nothing. Yes, they gave me life. Yes, they raised me. But there comes a point where these people genuinely owe me nothing. And the decisions that I make are purely mine.
So you can't keep basing what's happening in your life with in my house.
You cannot.
20 years ago.
Because there comes a time, where now you're wise with you, like this is a decision I made purely because for my pleasure or displeasure.
How are you able to separate that decision making and not say, I did this, I made a decision like this because a lot of times people will say, I did it because. So instead of looking at what they did, they look at why they did it.
Accountability, like in those lives as human beings is holding ourselves accountable. Because you betrayed yourself by doing what it is that you did.
But now you are looking for someone else to shield that.
Yes.
And you not face your truth.
And you're not facing your truth.
So you are saying you had to face your own truth.
I had to face my truth because at the end of the day, once these people are gone, I still realized that I had a lot of anger inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the anger that I had inside of me was putting myself through those situations that I didn't need to put myself through. And I knew I didn't need to put myself through there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as much as you forgive other people, I think true forgiveness comes from within yourself.
Introspect.
For yourself.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're the one that sleeps in the bed.
Are you able to look at yourself in the mirror?
Yes.
And tell yourself your truth.
And tell yourself your truth. Are you able to hold yourself accountable?
Yeah.
Like it's really important that you actually do hold yourself accountable and responsible to go ahead and do better at the end of the day.
Which then filters to, I mean, you're a leader at work.
And
that will filter into how you manage your people at work as well.
Yeah. So,
how you deliver your radio. I'm unhappy because you are making us unhappy.
It's really that. So when you can hold yourself truly accountable for the actions for the things that you do to yourself, then you'll be able to realize that at the end of the day, yes, this person is my father, but like me, they're having a human experience and they're only navigating life the best way they know how to navigate life.
Big words. We talked up the wisdom.
Oh, I think I've lived many lives that I don't know of, but they come through like man.
I'm showing shots.
Also, like I know this is good. Like I've been through a lot, Kiss, that another person probably wouldn't be alive right now with the things that I've been through, you know.
Yes.
Knowing that. But another thing that holds on like dear to my heart is knowing that I was wanted.
Yeah.
You know. Like I was wanted. So I was wanted from the beginning.
Yes.
Like I was wanted, and that always stays with me. Knowing I'm not, as much as I'm not out here trying to live my life for other people, but I'm not trying to disappoint the person or the people that genuinely wanted me.
And if you also carry the same mentality into your relationships going forward, then you're styling.
You are styling, but we also shouldn't leave room for disappointment because you're really not going to live.
Disappointment is
It's but at the same time, it shouldn't be like part of your mattress like that stuff.
Have you ever felt like, don't think I know?
Doug, when I tell you that I've known every time.
It wasn't just a feeling.
It wasn't just like I knew. Like I'm just like, I know what's going on. Got things sasela. Got them corn and like and you're more no duty. I know, guys. Like who's a shy. Like good thing.
Now you're shy.
And now like so I'm just like
staying in that line.
Like why? Hence I'm saying, when everything was removed, I was still very much angry at myself.
And then once you dealt with that,
blessings started coming through my life because
the rain is gone.
It's not just something is that anger is sickly, will cause you distress in your body physically. You may not see it physically, but mentally, there's always somehow that anger will block everything in your life.
From happening.
The
good.
The
bad just keeps flowing.
The bad just keeps flowing. So let go of any anger, let go of any resentment. I was also resentful. That anger also turned into resentment. And I was just like, I always leave places which don't serve me purely because I'm not trying to go back to it.
Once you reach a point of resentment, it's you are now living it. You are it. Basically.
Yeah.
You are the hate.
Yeah.
That walks around.
Exactly.
Right?
And I knew in essence I wasn't that person. Yeah. So the moment I feel anger now becoming rage, now staying there for too long, just like, resentment, bye bye.
And you think it came from our side?
No, it wasn't really. I can't blame them for everything.
Well,
there was a lot of it. There's like 50 is also a lot, Doug.
10.
Yeah, let's put it at 10 because honestly,
then they're amazing. Yeah.
Because the 10% is truly for me purely it's just like relationship based. Which is so much of you know. You know, like, what do you want me to do? Like, you want me to find a loving partner, but at the same time, it's not like you are the greatest loving individual towards your person. Like, it's really, like, again, like I stress, it's very important. It's really important to like your person, though.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. You have to like your person.
Like, it's so
But
important.
also, I also feel, Uchi, sometimes you start liking that person, you start loving and liking that person, but over time you start disliking that person, and it grows more because of certain things that, you know, I've been in relationships as well, right? And right now, umuntu wami, sinako lokuphikisana because you feel Uchi, certain things should be changing, certain things are not changing. I understand that, I think. And I think welcome a relationship anayo.
Yeah.
But it's how much and how much can you take of it.
Yeah, that's true. But also, are you also asking too much of that person because they're not at the level that you're at?
It could be that. It also could be, is this person just not wanting to reach that level because
As
they are
well.
okay?
As to where it is that they are.
Grand, Ilana, and if you want me to get there, I'm not even figuring up on me. I don't aspire to.
I hear you 100% that, because I think that for me is also another.
And because you can get there, for me, why must I?
No, but you must.
No, you are getting there.
No, but I understand what she's saying.
Why must I?
100%, dog. Like,
You get there for us.
Can we put like just a little bit? Let's put astrology into this. I'm a Capricorn, like through and through.
I'm a Libra.
You're a Libra. So ambition for me is very high on the list of the person that I find, because it's not wanting more, it's wanting better. For me, that's what ambition means for me. That you out here trying to do better. So if a person is out here just dilly-dallying, gabupelo, not trying to improve,
Just getting by.
just getting by.
I'm okay with what I know.
Ibiloko happy with mid-management, not trying to be a GM of a specific.
Me and you
It's
share the same
dog,
sentiments when it
no,
comes to that.
But I'm also at the same time, I'm just like, I'm not gonna stop my ambition just because you are happy where it is that you
And then
are.
what happens ke manje, now lo muntu uhlezi la yena akaqhubeki.
Yes.
And lo muntu usifiso baba sendlini mina ngabe uyenza lezi, but uKea now busy. Hey, Kea is making it happen. Kea is there, growing to that there. Hey, sali da. Ndatoyi, because I'm content.
But like
Ndate is content with what he's doing. He's okay. And you doing it. Do it. You carry
he's
on.
happy.
When I'm kubega for us.
No, but we're doing this together.
Oh, really?
But we must do it together.
But you're forced.
No, okay, as yeah.
No, I'm forced.
No, as yeah.
Then it gets there, right?
I think, but because honestly, we should be able to find a person that's willing to challenge us in the right ways that will get us to the next level in below, and you know.
Question.
Besides being comfortable and content and all of that.
Would you say that one thing you've been praying for your whole life has been answered?
Yes.
What is it?
That one thing.
I haven't. I haven't realized what I'm praying for. I'm not. God hasn't answered that prayer. And I'm hoping and praying that it happens too soon, because none of my daughter man.
That good.
We understand. So and whatever that I achieve, whatever that I do in my life, they are watching, and babono baba wenzaka so, and it's kind of like a path for them, because nabo baya funda, and they will apply a lot of what they saw me doing in their lives. And I want to get to a certain point that I think Unkulunkulu is not giving me that right now. So,
Which is fine.
yeah?
Which is fine. It may not feel fine, but it's fine.
No, for me it's not fine.
Let me tell you why
It
it's
doesn't feel
fine.
fine, it's not fine.
Let me tell you why it's fine. And I'm taking you back to Mix FM. Before I went to Northwest FM, I sent my demo through to YFM. And I just turned 25 when I left Mix. I got a call from Dumelo. Hi, Dumelo. Just wanted to let you know. He's the current PM, Go UFM, which is now Mix It, which was Northwest FM. And he said to me, I love your demo. The problem, he asked me how old I was, and I told him I just turned 25.
UFM, is it where Ankle Tap is?
Yes.
He's doing breakfast there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was previously known as Northwest FM when I was there.
Yes.
And so he's like, I love your demo, it's absolutely amazing. Asked me how old I was. I'm like, oh, I just turned 25 a month ago. He's like, oh, damn. He's like, why? I'm like, what's that? He's just like, yeah, you're too old, babe.
25.
Yeah. It was like, we have the same
You're a child,
people 25 and under. I'm just like, it's been a month. You know, so like, I'm trying to plead my case. Like, let's not count it.
Haven't birthday, they didn't even buy cake.
And he's just like, no, babe, like, I can't. Like, I really can't. It's against whatever it is that
Company
he said.
policy and whatever.
So I realized that if I went to Y, then I would have been a total fuck up.
Why?
Because I would have just gotten blinded by the lights. I didn't have enough life experience. Enough.
But then what if that was your journey?
No.
To get
it
blinded
wasn't
in
my
it?
journey. No. I would have been lost. Like lost. I would have lost my path completely. And the more I went through it, I also kind of got over that very quickly because 2 weeks later I got the Quad Northwest. I was like, oh my gosh, yay. But I also went through so much in my period living in Rustenburg that I was just like, why did I have to go through this, you know? That I realized, in life, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason, there's a season and a reason. You may not know what the reason is in that season, but once that season is over, it may hit you like 2 months or a year over. Then you realize like, that's why.
That's why.
And then you feel instant gratitude for it happening the way that it's happened.
Yes.
Like I know I'm gonna be like a late bloomer in like success. Like I say this because success is relative in the way that you get it, right?
Yeah.
Some people bloom at 20, some bloom at 60.
I'm still waiting.
You know? So
Hey, now. Success. Hit this guy.
but everything that I've been through is gonna prepare me for the success that I've been asking for. And that's coming to me.
Yeah.
And it won't overwhelm me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, again, what is that one thing that you prayed for and it's been answered?
It's very simple. I wanted to buy Mom Nando's every month.
Oh, that doesn't count.
No, but like it counts so much. For the mere fact that I can.
Oh, you can bring that every day.
No. This was before I joined Nando's.
What is it about Nando's? Because
My
then
mom
for
loves
me,
Nando's.
it's deep. It's
My
like.
mom loved Nando's. The first time I had Nando's was with my parents.
So are you saying there was a time you couldn't afford to buy Mom
There was
Nando's?
a time I couldn't afford to buy Mom Nando's. There was a time I actually couldn't afford to buy my own toiletries. That's how broke I was.
Yes.
Yeah. But for the mere fact.
And you are still trying to push the Pupola college.
Yeah. Like my other dream was to have a salary that's just for just came or clicks, you know?
This gate, this toiletries, this
Buys all the toiletries that I want. I get to, you know, us when we get into clicks or just came, like,
yeah, I'm basket netroli.
don't take me, if the, like one of the best dates a man could take me on is a discount or clicks date. Because it's not on me, it's on you, dog.
All the points that you keep getting off to the petrol. Give them to keep. Just so the clicks there.
But yeah, like it was, I just saw the happiness, but also the gratitude.
So it's about seeing the smile on your mother's face.
Yeah.
Giving her something that.
It's as simple as that. Like 200 and what rand may not mean anything to many people, but 200 and something rand means quite a bit to another person, and to me it just means seeing my mom's happiness and gratitude. Yeah.
What's next, Kea?
What's next?
Besides the radio station, the leadership happening at Nando's, tell them, that camera, what can we look out for next? And what advice would you give to a person who's trying to make happen in their lives in the space that you worked in? The road that you've traveled.
Yeah.
So you are ahead of quite a lot of people that are still at home, not just a high school kid. Somebody's our age and thinking, I numbing for no Kea. give us this path.
Number one, you have to trust the process of life. Like, I know it sounds very cliche in the sense of to just trust the process of life. Good luck. If you trust the process of life, you're not going to be where you're not meant to be.
Okay.
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, find what really makes your heart let go. Like this is like your purpose, let's say. Like find your purpose.
Find your why.
Find your why. And let that always be a reminder that this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm made to be here. And that season and that reason will always add up to that why. Yeah? And number three, lead with love. Because love is the most powerful force that we have within us as human beings.
Yes.
And not in the romantic sense, but in the everything sense.
Yeah.
Like if you lead with love, everything will work out the way it needs to work out.
Yes.
Accompany love with gratitude, because gratitude and love will open up the blessings in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you are love, your gratitude, which will equal all of your abundance.
And work hard still.
And work hard.
You gotta work hard.
And patience.
Patience.
Volunteer,
You have to volunteer also. I mean,
do
you
not
did volunteer
forget
work.
Yeah, listen, like there will be days where you will have to work for free. We've worked for free, this thing, eh?
You and I,
you will feel
we know some of that.
We know some of that. Late payments. Payments not coming in.
The 10th, we're still waiting.
Literally. Like patience is also a very big one. People always say that patience is a virtue, and it's true. Like patience is such a big one, but also be patient. Not to the process, but also patient much with yourself.
Yeah.
And another thing that you need to do is show yourself kindness. The kindness that you show to others, you really need to show it to yourself.
Because you're trying.
You're trying so hard. Also, you are trying until you're actually doing it. I stopped because I've always been saying, yeah, I'm just trying, but like, no, you're doing it. And then eventually I was just like, actually, I am doing it. Acknowledge your victories.
Celebrate the small ones.
Celebrate those small ones will lead up to the bigger one. Yeah. Yeah. Also, like, I think in everything, just network, guys.
Trust me.
But besides networking, also follow your energy because, like, your energies don't lie. I think for me, that's why I've been able to build some really authentic connections in this industry. That I haven't found myself forcing relationships with people that my energy just doesn't mix with. And I'm a very big believer in energy. So
you
like,
flow with what flows.
Yeah, like so if this isn't if yours and mine's energy is not working,
I keep you there, my friend.
like I keep you there. because there's a reason why
Messing
you're
with
not
the
in my
water
life.
here.
And like there's a reason why I'm feeling like this.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You
Yeah.
don't force things.
Yeah, look, in what you're doing right now, just in wrapping up, I think I wanna say shout out.
Thank you.
Shout out to you. I know your work. I've worked with you. I've played 12,000 of your mixes on my show. you know on radio you get DJ like, you're waiting for half an hour set from this guy, and then he hasn't sent it to you. I'm like, okay, Kea's got mixes. I'm gonna play an hour of Kea's mix, and then he just makes the show, and I've used it. Believe me, look for recordings. I've used them. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. I wish you knew nothing but the best, and that's really coming through from the bottom of my heart, that everything that it is that you want, everything that it is that you've asked for may come back to you tenfold. Thank you, man. Right now, it's this podcast, Make It Happen with Kiss. This is the third episode that you're shooting. It's what I'm trying to do right now. So I'm trying to push it, man, and grow it to higher heights. Really just bringing people like you on board to give that pathway, because everybody's trying to make it happen, man. That's very true. You know, and you don't know where to start. You don't know how to start. So listening to people that will tell you that, hey, man, I'm going to volunteer, Joe. I'll just come and sweep just to be here. You know, we've haven't been paid for some of the work. We've been paid delayed, but we stayed because there's a dream that we're trying to push. There's a goal that we're trying to push, and I hope yours also come true.
I hope you realize them. I hope your success comes true much earlier.
Than 50.
Much earlier than 50.
I don't mind. All I know is that it will work out the way it needs to work out.
It will work out the way it needs to work
Yeah.
out, but you are there, you are doing it.
And I'm doing
You've
it.
got your pulse, your finger on the pulse, and just make it happen, man.
Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I know this was very less career-wise and more spiritual, but I really hope that your viewer got something from
The
our
idea
conversation
is you pick out what's gonna work for you.
Yeah.
Because not everything is gonna work, right?
100%.
So pick out what's gonna work for you in whatever space that you're trying to make happen, and you use that and you make it happen, right?
Follow that gut.
MC, producer, cook, radio DJ, all-round amazing person. Kea Ncube.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah, baby.
You've been amazing. Man. You've been amazing.
Thank you.
We're done. Thank you. We out. Peace. Kisses.